opening question we had are, what are some issues that you've observed regarding water conservation in Connecticut?
Water conservation, as we've kind of talked about, it's an extremely important concept for everybody in Connecticut. Whether you're growing plants or whether you're a homeowner. But water conservation on golf courses is a particularly important concept. It's something that golf course managers throughout the country are really focused on.
So this is the first year that West Hartford is competing in the Student Innovation Expo. This is my first year coaching. The team consists of 12 freshmen, so we're all doing this for the first time. The theme this year is water. So at the beginning of the year, the students were researching water issues, and I really wanted them to do an issue that was local. One day a student said, "Hey, there's a lot of golf courses. I wonder how much water they use."
We thought at first the experiment would be much more simple than it turned out to be. We thought we could just find a type of grass that a golf course didn't already use, that used less water, and we could recommend it to them, and they could change their type of grass, and in the end they would result in using less water. But it definitely turned out to be more complicated than that.
What is the amount of sunlight in a given day? How much rainfall did we get? What is the temperature? What is the wind speed? So there's a formula where you can insert all of these different factors and calculate the amount of evapotranspiration.
For our investigation, we chose 4 types of grasses, and we wanted to see how well they grew when we for different types of water.
The 4 grasses we used were Kentucky bluegrass, cutting edge grass, creeping bentgrass, and tall fescue.
We decided to use Kentucky blue and creeping bent because they were already used on golf courses, and we saw cutting edge on a TV commercial, and we thought it would be interesting to try out. Tall fescue was the native grass to Connecticut, so that's why we used that one.
And to calculate the amount of water we would use for a small patch of grass, which was 30 by 15 centimeters, we calculated the amount of water used by an average golf course each day, which is 312,000 gallons, and calculated the amount of acres in an average golf course, and used those numbers to calculate the amount of water for each piece of grass.
Okay, so we also counted how many blades of grass were in each container because we wanted to see which grass grew the fullest out of all of them.
And we also measured the roots because the roots could represent how well the grass would be able to absorb water. And longer and thicker roots would mean it would be stronger and be able to absorb more water.
So when we were studying our grass, we thought we'd take it to the next level, and we were mainly inspired by the aqua globe. So we thought that we could put it into the ground, like here. So we'd have a bigger aqua globe, almost like a reserve, and a root-like system that would go into the ground. And what we would do is gravity would really take over, and it would filtrate all the water and water all the grass efficiently. So when it's in the spring and there's a lot of water and a lot of rain, the water would build up and it would get reserved, and then when there's a drought, or maybe in the summer when it hasn't rained in a while, that water would be able to be used when it needs to be used, because the oxygen from the ground, since there's no water, and it would travel up and the water would get released into the ground to fill up the spaces. So what helps with that is having pipes so if you have a pipe like this, it's a 90-degree angle, so that's too sharp of a corner, so the water gets slowed down. So what we did was we created a more efficient pipe with our 3D printer, so it has a more acute angle so that the water doesn't have to turn so much sharper. So gravity really just takes up the job of what we need to do. So we would have a pipe, the aqua globe, and one of our little connectors here at the bottom, and that's about it.
you.